Hello guys, in this part of the tutorial I'm gonna show you how to make the user registration into the database, which means we are gonna save the information related to the user on our database. So I'm gonna start by the front-end side work, client side, no, registration, yes. So I'm gonna prepare some use state hooks, one for the name, and of course don't forget to import the use state. So how many of them do we have? Email, name, last name, password, so 4. Alright, so set last name, and password, set password, and the last thing was the email, which actually is the first one, but the order doesn't matter. Alright, next I'm gonna declare a function that will submit the registration. So const submit registration, and I'm gonna start by e.prevent default. For those who don't know what does this mean, it prevents the application from submitting this form every time you refresh the page. So if I fill those inputs and then hit submit and I send the informations to the user and then I try to refresh the page from here, the information will be sent again to the backend, and we don't want that. So this prevents that. Okay, so I'm gonna declare the body, const body, and I'm gonna give it those informations: name, last name, email, and password. Then I'm gonna need a try catch, and by the way, this is a synchronized function. So in case of any errors, console log error dot message. Okay, so const response fetch. So fetch http local host 3001 our port on the backend, and I'm gonna call the router, for example, sign up. Okay, more parameters, which is the method that we are gonna use, and of course it's a post. If you're gonna send any information to the backend, it's gonna be post. And the body, which means the information that I'm gonna send. So JSON dot stringify the body, this one. Okay, and then the headers, which is a bit important here. So content type, I think the T is not, yeah, it's the lowercase one. Application /JSON. Okay, so I guess that's it. I just need to prepare a variable that contains the response. This response means this response is going to contain the data that will be sent back from the backend. And I need to put this await here because it's a synchronized function. So const data equals response, and of course await first, response dot JSON. Our data will be sent in a JSON format. Okay. So the next thing I'm gonna do is call the function here on submitting. Submit registration. And then I'm gonna start taking the information from each input. So the first input on change declare an arrow function, set email e.target value of this input, and I'm gonna do this for the rest of the inputs. So the next input here, and change the name of the function, set, which one is this? Set name. Why is it type password? The name should not be type password. Then the last name, okay, this also shouldn't be password, just a text. And last thing is the password, which it's correct, it's a password. So set password. Okay, I think we are done with this part. Well, if I forgot something, I will remember it once I launch the application. So let's move to the backend now. The first thing I need you to do is to install this package, npm install bcryptjs. I have it already installed, so I'm gonna call it bcrypt equals require bcryptjs. And then I'm gonna start preparing our router. So up.post, as I said, it has to be a post one, and we called it sign up. So a synchronized request and the result, and we start by setting the variables that we sent from the front end into a variable. So from the body, name, we have a name, we have an email. The order doesn't matter, of course. It's last name and password. And we get this from the request.body. So let's declare a try catch loop. Console log our error message if there is any. And then I'm gonna start by encrypting our password. So const salt equals wait bcrypt dot gen salt, which means it's gonna generate a method to use it for encrypting our password later, and we give it 10 as a parameter. Then we will create our hashed password. So I'm gonna call the hashed password like that, and it's await bcrypt dot hash, and you give it the password, which is our password that we sent from the front end, and the sort that we just declared, like that. Then I'm gonna create an instance for the user and make a new user out of it. So new user, and gonna start giving it all our the information that we have. So new user, what does this new user has? Email. Let me check again. Name, last name, email, and password. Okay. Name equals name, email equals our email, password. Okay, then the password. What else? Name, last name. Equals last name. Here we don't put the password. We don't need that password. We need the hashed one. After encrypting it, in the database we save the one that we encrypted. So hashed password. Okay. After that, I'm gonna I'm gonna save our user. So user.save, like that. And let's display a message on the console so that it tells us if it's inserted or not. Console log user inserted. Alright. Actually, I'm gonna put all this stuff out of the try catch. Okay, like that. So I'm gonna send an information to the backend. For example, a message that says user insert. For the moment, I'm gonna check if our work is working well or not by that message. So alert, I'm gonna alert data dot the message that we will receive from the backend. And of course, if there was a mistake or a problem, user not inserted. So let's run our server, npm run dev, and check if everything is okay. Oh, by the way, we need to connect to our database. And connect. Okay, our server side is working well. This is taking too much, I guess there is a problem. Okay, in case you have that problem in which it says, look, cluster whatever, and the problem that is network connection, you know, the Mongo connection is closed or whatever, you just have to change your ID. You go to network access of your database and you change your IP address into this. Zero, 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 zero. You wait a bit for it. Okay, and there we go, it says active. So let's try to connect again. Perfect. So let's refresh our server. Just gonna... Okay, so the database is working and the user database is here. Okay, let's try send registered user. So email address, I'm gonna call it tom@gmail.com. The name is gonna be Tom, last name Jerry, and password, which is from 1 to 9, and login. Seems like nothing happened. Not here. Is there any error? Is that button submit button? Yes. So what's the problem here? I don't see any problem. Failed to load unexpected token 23, line 23. I'll search for the problem and tell you. Be right back. Oh, okay guys, I just forgot to put a slash here. So let's try again. Tom, Jerry, and the password from 1 to 9. Failed to fetch. Another problem here. Okay, I also found the problem. It's because I added an S here. We didn't. It's HTTP, not HTTPS. So let's go ahead and try. User inserted. Nice. Let's check our database. Perfect. Tom, Jerry, the email, and as you can see, the password that it's not the password that I wrote with my hands. I wrote from 1 to 9, but the bcrypt method encrypted our password and saved it in this way. So in the next video I'm gonna show you how to make the login and how to decrypt again this password and check if the user wrote the correct password and everything. See you in the next video.